What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damion Cryer, and I'm back with another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day today. Your boy is doing okay, man. I'm actually doing great. Every day has its different obstacles. So let's just say I'm doing okay. This is going to be a very pretty interesting Q&A tonight, guys. And I posted on my tab earlier, if you guys want a Q&A, leave me some questions. And I knew what a lot of the questions would be. I deleted a bunch of the questions because I didn't want to have a bunch of questions overlapping, especially the same question. Once I get through the video, you guys understand what's going on here. If you guys have not subscribed to the Cryer family, please turn that bell on so you are subscribed to the channel. But being subscribed to the channel only means you are subscribed. In order to get notifications every time I drop a video, you must turn on the bell with the vibrating symbol. That way, every time I drop a video in the Cryer family, you, and yes, you as well, will get the notifications. Also, guys, we are doing a Cryer family giveaway every single Tuesday on the Cryer family for the next couple of weeks. And in order to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, smash that like button, and leave a positive comments. However, negative comments are welcomed as well. So as you guys can see by the title, yes, this is a Q&A. I dropped that today on my community tab. Thank you guys who took the time out of your busy day to respond to my community tab today. So before we get into this video, guys, I have some chicken gizzards sitting here. It's not a meal, so I'm just gonna just be eating while I'm talking. Chicken gizzards are one of my favorite foods. There was a place open in Rosenberg a while back called Bush's Chicken. When I moved out here a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, oh my God, July 28th, I've been here 2 years. Wow. I used to love this place called Bush's Chicken. And recently I went a few months ago to that location and found out that they were closed. So I decided while I was at HEB, I bought some oxtail, some greens, and I bought a couple packs of chicken gizzards. So I fried these myself. So I'm gonna say my grace before I get into this video. Thank you, Lord, for this food I'm about to receive. Thank you for blessing me, Lord, watching over my household, blessing all of my kids, watching over my loved ones, and their loved ones. In the name of Jesus, amen. Amen. So, I don't know what part of the chicken these are from, guys. But all I know is that they're the gizzard of the chicken. I don't know if the gizzard is in the leg, the stomach, the booty cheeks, or what, but I know it's the gizzard. And if you season them right and fry them hard, they good as hell. So, you guys see that thumbnail, right? There's a reason why that thumbnail was there. That thumbnail was there for a reason. Before we get to that, we're gonna jump into some of these questions. Because I was hit with some good ones today. There was like a total of 60 questions, guys. But I'm actually going to only do 20 of them. Shy asks, how is Mia with little hearts? Mia is doing great, guys. As you guys know, 2, 3, 4 videos ago, I don't remember, I do a lot of videos. I dropped a video where I took Mia to get groomed. As you guys know, her birthday is coming up on May 8th. She will be 2 years old. So, she's doing okay. However, she got sick at the grooming place where she had diarrhea. When I got home, she had the same symptoms. So I had to change her dog food immediately. And that was my fault because I had switched her to a different dog food just to try it. Because I was being lazy and decided to run to the Dollar Tree. And I grabbed a couple of cans of dog food that she wasn't accustomed to eating instead of taking my butt to Walmart or HEB and getting the regular food that she normally eats. So that's why she got sick, but she's doing a whole lot better. Thank you for asking me that question. World in Kayla's Eyes asked, most life-changing experiences you ever had. Places you've traveled, most eye-opening experience you ever had. What it's like to be a YouTube star. Your favorite streaming service. She had a lot of questions. So, The most life-changing experience that I have had, you know, was obviously when I lost my oldest son. That was definitely a life-changing experience for me. I recently went to Indiana just over a month ago and finally visited my oldest son, Deontay's gravesite. And I think for the most part, that was one of the most life-changing experiences that I've ever had. The next one was, she asked the same question, the world in Kyla's eyes asked, places you like to travel to. I would like to go to Miami, Florida, which I will be leaving out for Miami, Florida. I don't want to say the date, but it's going to be extremely, extremely soon. I'm going to take myself a mini vacation and kind of just get away from it all for a while. After this video, you guys will understand why I'm going to take this mini vacation by myself. It's well needed, and I believe I've worked my ass off and I deserve it. Okay, and she also asked, most eye-opening experience you've ever had. Wow, most eye-opening experience I've ever had. One of the most eye-opening experiences that I've ever had, a lot of it has been right here on YouTube. Accusations. You know what? I don't want to offend people, but let's just say some of the most eye-opening experiences I've had have happened right here on YouTube and not on my channel either. Let's go to the next question because she asked like 4 questions. What is it like to be a YouTube star? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have been called a YouTube star. I don't consider myself famous, as I've said in multiple videos. I've never considered myself famous, but other people have considered me famous. My channel went from, when I moved out to Texas, I moved out here and I had 50,000 subscribers when I moved out here almost 2 years ago. As of today's date, I am at almost 400K. I still don't consider myself a YouTube star until I hit 1 million. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to hit 1 million, but I would hope that I would hit 1 million. That would be really, really nice. I would like that plaque to sit right behind me where the plaque is on the wall. This is my first plaque ever, guys. YouTube didn't send me this plaque when I hit 100,000 like they normally would. I didn't get this plaque until I got to 271,000 subscribers. That's when I got that plaque in the mail, and I was so happy. I would consider myself a YouTube star once I cross over. But how I feel right now, being at the level that I'm at right now, I feel extremely great. I'm very, very humble for what I do have. As you guys know, I would never ever get the big head, no matter how big I grow on YouTube. I always try to be humble. I always try to give back. And most importantly, I always try to stay positive, even in a bad situation. That was a lot of questions. Thank you so much. The world in Kayla's eyes. Thank you for taking the time out your day and comment on my community tab. Candace, hey Candace. Hey, I hope all is well. I would love to see a Q&A. Do you and Damion ever would you and Damion ever squash things and get back on good terms? That is a very good question, because I recently dropped a video about me not getting invited to Nova's 2nd birthday party. It is my belief that me and Damion will get back on good terms. After all, Damion has crier blood running through his veins every day, all day. He's my child, he's my son, he's my baby. As family, we're always gonna have our differences, whether it's on or off of social media. The most important thing for me to do is squash all the beef as soon as possible. Because as I say, I have more years in back of me than I do in front of me, which means I would love to live another 50 years, but we know that sometimes that's not always the case. We leave way before our time. But I would love to have the beef squashed before something bad happens, and I don't want to wait until I'm in a hospital bed or something happens to one of my kids. I would love to squash the beef. Again, most of everything that's happened has been my fault. Decisions that I made, my actions that I made, and I am so sorry for the things that I have done that caused all this stuff to happen in the first place. So thank you, Candy Fox. Boy Calvich, if I didn't pronounce it right, I apologize. Pretty Boy Calvich asks, as a dad, who's of experience now, what is the one thing you can ever do to relinquish a father-child relationship? The one thing I could do to relinquish a father-child relationship is first and foremost, admit that you're in the wrong. I don't believe that the child, even if the child is an adult, like my child, he's an adult, I don't think that my child should be the first one that should make the first move. I think that it should be the father that makes the first move, because the children look up to the father. Even when they're adults, they still look up to their father and mom. I had a relative that I recently had a very long conversation with. This particular relative, I am extremely close to her. And I will never let nothing or no one come between us. She said, Damion, your kids are older, but your kids still need you in your life, in their life, I'm sorry. She said, your kids are older, the ones that's an adult, they really still need you in their life. They still need to know that they got the love of their mom and their dad. They need to know that you love them. Being silent is not showing them that you love them. Being silent is not proving that you love them. You need to be the man that you're supposed to be and step up to the plate. So I believe to relinquish a father and son relationship, whether it's a father and son relationship or a father and daughter relationship, the parent needs to be the one to step up to the plate and fix it. It's not up to the kids to fix it. The kids are moving according to how we move because we're the parents. If we move in silence, we can't expect them to do nothing but the same thing, move in silence. You know, like I said in an earlier video, me and my son Damion, we are a lot alike. And when I say a lot alike, trust me, I don't believe financially. It would be nice, but I don't mean financially. We're just a lot alike. Damion, like, he's not gonna bow down to no one. And I'm the same way, and he gets it from me. You know, I teach my kids not to kiss nobody, but, you know, just go get what you want to get and keep it moving. You don't have to kiss people, but to, you know, get what you want out of them. Sometimes it doesn't take that. It just it just takes standing up and just being a man and claiming what's yours. My asks, will you be virtually collabing with fans? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There is so much that I want to do. There is so much I would love to do. Right now, I would say yes. Yes, I can honestly say yes now. I can honestly say yes. You'll find out later on in this video why. I can say yes that I probably will be collabing with other people. Because I don't mind giving back. I'm not the stingy type guy. I don't mind giving back. You know, I'm not going to use my experience from past collabs with people to stop me from collabing with people in the future, because everybody's not the same. Everybody don't have the same intentions. You know, I think that a collab should be exactly what it's designed to be. It's a collaboration. And I have collabed with people, and it was a really, really good collab. I mean, there was no further communication. There was no calling. There was no DMs. There was no shiesty, sneaky stuff going on behind the scene. But yeah, that's something that definitely will be on the table in the very, very near future. It's a Darian. If I pronounced your name, I apologize. This is a long name, and it's a profile picture of a dog. So I hope if you're watching this video, you know who you are. Who last name does Damion Prince have? Because kids usually get their last names from their dads, and your last name is Crier, and Bianca's last name was Reigns. Whose last name did he get? Okay, that's an easy one. Damion actually has his mom's last name, which her last name Prince comes from Damion's grandfather. God rest his soul. Damion's mom's last name at the time was Prince. So I was there when Damion was born. I was at the hospital when he was born, when he came out and everything. It was a blessing to see him born, as well as a blessing to see all of my children born. I think the only child I wasn't there to see born was one, and that's my son, Akeem. I was there for the birth of all of my other children. But Damion has his last name from his mom. Yes, it's true. A lot of people do take their father's or dad's last name. Darian is actually the first Crier on my kid's side. Then Damion, he's the second Crier on my kid's side. So sometimes the kids take their mom's last name. Sometimes the kids take the mother's last name. This was a situation where I was there at the hospital, but me and his mom at the time, we hadn't discussed like who last name that he was going to have. So we ended up giving him the mom's last name. Damion has a very huge family on his mom's side. He has a lot of uncles and aunties and cousins with the last name Prince. So that's how that ended up happening. He ended up taking his mom's last name. Me and his mom both had agreed with it while we were at the hospital. We already knew what his first name was going to be, obviously. But we went ahead and we just agreed on it. Sometimes parents, even if they're not together, they can still agree on certain things as far as like naming the children and stuff, because that's something that has to be done right then and there. I don't think that there's a case where you can really take a baby home from the hospital and tell the nurses and doctors, well, I don't have a name right now, and I'm gonna call you in a week or two. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe there is cases out there like that, but I've never really actually heard of a case like that. Comment down below if you know anybody who's ever taken a baby from the hospital and was able to give the baby a name later on down the line. That would be kind of weird though. I mean, what would you call your baby when you got your baby home? Hey little baby, you want something to eat? Hey baby, I got a burpee. That'd be kind of weird to me. Kim Morris asks, when are you gonna do more cooking videos? As you guys know, cooking videos is one of my passions. When I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to do cooking videos and fishing videos. That's all I wanted to do. And then I wanted to learn how to do reactions, because I was so infatuated with reaction videos. Like, how do they get that little box down there, and how do they get the words to match up to what they're saying and what they're doing? I was always fascinated by that. Cooking videos is something that I've been wanting to get back into so much, but like, there's so many distractions. So right now I have a whole list, guys, of things that I'm gonna be bringing you for the month of May. And let's just say you guys are gonna be shocked. I do plan on bringing cooking videos back. It's something I wanna consistently do. But as a single man, yes, you guys heard me say it. As a single man, I live by myself. I do my own thing. And sometimes, like being a single person, I don't do a lot of cooking videos because I don't really have like a family. And so I don't want to be having like a whole bunch of cooking videos every day, and a lot of that food just goes to waste. So cooking videos is something that I definitely will be bringing back soon. I don't think I'll be doing them every single day because that'd be like a lot of food, and there'd be like a lot of good food that will go to waste. And there's a lot of homeless people out there, you know, who's really struggling. And so I try to be really careful with doing too many cooking videos, but it will be something that I will be bringing back to the Crier family very soon. Mina's daughter asked, what's your biggest fear and where did you get that fear from? A lot of you guys that's been around for a long time, y'all know what my biggest fear is, don't y'all? Y'all know what one of my biggest fears, guys, is spiders and maggots. I can't stand spiders because they have so many moving parts on them. How come when they made spiders, they didn't just have 2 legs? Why they gotta have, the whole circle of them is all legs, moving parts. Maggots, that's why I don't eat rice. Because rice to me, and I hope none of you guys are eating rice right now when y'all watching this video, but I have a funny feeling some of you guys are actually eating rice while watching this video. And I'm sorry for the second. Excuse me, rice to me looks like maggots. It's like a fear, man. It's like a fear. I just can't stand maggots. But one of my worst fears in the world, sometimes when I go to sleep, I have these dreams that I'm falling off of a building. And I always wake up before I hit the ground. And one of my biggest fears is, what if I don't wake up from the sleep and I actually hit the ground? Or if I hit the ground while I'm having that dream falling off that building, am I gonna wake up? That's always been one of my biggest fears. You guys heard me talk about it in recent videos. I was like literally terrified of falling off that building, man. Christopher asks, what legacy do you wanna leave behind? That is a very good and powerful question. The legacy that I want to leave behind is not the one that's been going on lately. Damion Crier should have a restraining order against some. Damion Crier is a bad person. Damion Crier this. Damion Crier got exposed for that. That's definitely not the legacy I want to leave behind. I want to leave a positive legacy behind. I want people to remember me as the man who made a lot of mistakes in his life, who went to prison, who was shot 6 times, and who came home in 1998 and changed his whole life around and decided to start doing great things with his life. Start making Damion Crier, who made a video that inspired me, that helped me change my life. I had a guy one time who was on the verge of taking his own life. And he asked me to do a video about what he should do and the reason why he shouldn't take his own life. And did you know after that video dropped, that guy emailed me and told me that I saved his life. His wife emailed me and they sent me pictures of them thanking me, telling me thank you. Because sometimes you can say things to people and that can change the whole trajectory of their thinking. And I find that to be 100% true. I want to be able to leave a very, very good legacy. Something to remember me positive by. Not for the bullshit that you guys have been seeing lately. That stuff come to a halt. Came to a halt. It ended. It had to stop. I wasn't going to continue doing that same stuff anymore. I pulled the plug. So that's the type of legacy I want to leave. You know, there's so much more I could add to that, but I don't want to like make this video any longer than I have to. David asks, on your, he said Dodge Charger. He asked, on my Dodge Charger, did you get the scratches off, yes or no? I think David meant to ask the scratches on my Mustang. The answer to that question, Mr. David, is yes. It was silly string. As you guys know, it was put out there that it was all fake and it was staged and everything. So it was silly string straight on my car. The scratches and stuff, I don't know where it came from. I had never noticed them before. The crack in my windshield, I had got that crack in my windshield while I was on the highway driving one night. But yes, everything else did come off my car. I'm in the process of getting that car painted in the next couple of weeks. As you guys know, I don't know if you heard me talking about it before, but Damion and his wife bought me that car years ago. I'm actually passing that car down to my son, Darian. Darian is now 13 years old. When he turns 16 years old, I'm going to be the one giving him his first car. And he already knows this, so it's not gonna be a surprise to him. I'm gonna try to drive as less as I can to keep the mileage low for my son. Thank you, David Brown. Anika, she asks, what's your biggest regret in life? What's your biggest accomplishment besides YouTube? One of my biggest regrets in life is that I wish that I knew then what I know now. I'm gonna leave it right there. What's your biggest accomplishments besides YouTube? I'm gonna tell you guys something. That's a very good question, Shamika. One of my biggest accomplishments before I moved out here, I had a job at a steel mill. I was there for 15 years. I used to always think people with felonies can't get good jobs like this. They'll never hire nobody like me. I can't make it out here. I proved everybody wrong. I kept that job. I was dedicated to it. I was one of the first people that they chose to fly out of the United States to their mother plant in another country, to be able to take specialized training so I can come back to the United States and train other people on this new equipment that was coming to the United States plant. And I was told that I couldn't do it because I had a felony. I was told I couldn't get a passport because I have a felony. I have a passport that don't expire until the year 2025. I was told that I would never make it past the age of 18 because the way I was going and living my life back then. I was told so much negative stuff about me that I focused my life on proving all those people wrong. And guess what? I proved all those people wrong. I proved every last one of them wrong. That was one of the biggest accomplishments I had made in my life. When people tell you that you can't, you have to prove them wrong. But first prove it to yourself. I went to work every day in that steel mill. I didn't know anything about calipers, measurements. I mean, I knew the basic stuff like 3 inches and 6 inches, but I didn't know anything about metric tools. There was so much stuff, a lot of stuff on the computer I actually learned at that job. I mean, I feel like I accomplished so much. I always lived in an apartment. I didn't think I would ever be able to get me a house, and by the grace of God, look at me. I'm going on my 2nd year in my house. My 2nd year, I did it by myself. I never asked anyone to help me out. I never put my hand out. I worked hard. You know, my son and his wife, they helped me, you know, with a lot of information to be able to help me to continue to try to build myself, build my brand, to become stronger. And I did it. I did it. I did it. I can walk out my house whenever I want, 2, 3 in the morning. I can come in my home 2, 3 in the morning. I wake up and walk around my house every day. You know, and that, you know, for me, that's a huge accomplishment because I always wanted my own house. You know, it's crazy I had to come clear across the country to make it happen. But it's not about the process. It's about the results. The results is I accomplished it. You know, and I've been doing it on my own since I've been here. You know, I've been doing this on my own. you know, and I just feel so grateful. So that's another one of my huge accomplishments. Jesse asks, if you wasn't a YouTuber, what would your dream career job be? You guys heard me talk about the steel mill earlier. I've always wanted to work in a steel mill. When I was little, my uncles had worked at that same steel mill. It was called Slater Steel back then as I was growing up, but then it went under new management. You guys know when a company goes under new management, they change the name and everything. Now it's called Valbruna Slater Steel. And I've always wanted to, you know, I know the type of lifestyle that they lived back in the 80s and 90s when they worked at that job. And hell, back then, minimum wage was like $3 and something cent, which means those guys were making above minimum wage back in the 80s and 90s. They were making $10 or $11 an hour. I know to some of you guys, that's nothing. That was a lot of money back then. When I got the job there, I started off at $14.75. When I left that job almost 2 years ago, guys, I was making $29 an hour. $29 an hour, and I knew I could do it. I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I never turned down no overtime. Hell, I had child support to pay, 401, car insurance, medical, rent, car payment. I was in there grinding every day. And working in a steel mill, I'm not gonna lie, it was always my dream job. Some people's dream job was to become a police officer, a firefighter, an airplane pilot, work at a doctor. I always wanted to work at a steel mill. I always wanted to do what my uncles never did. My oldest brother, he inspired me so much because he has his own business and he works his butt off every single day. And that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a really, really hard working man. But I always wanted that title of a steel worker. And so that was always one of my dream jobs was to become a steel worker, to be a part of something really great. Because you tell people, you walk in the store with that uniform on grocery shopping and you got your uniform on. I work at a steel mill. That's a big deal where I'm from. That is a huge deal, especially where I came from, being in prison, being locked up, being in jail, being shot multiple times, being in street gangs. To get out and get my life together like that and get a good job like that, man, that was a powerful statement. That was a powerful statement. That was done by God, man. So yeah, thank you, Jesse, for asking me that question. RZD asks, is you and Damion going to reconnect? I would love to believe that me and my son Damion is going to reconnect. And I'm gonna keep this short because I actually answered that question earlier in the video. The next question, Callan asked, how is Darian? Darian, guys, is doing wonderful. He's playing basketball. I hear that he's learning how to drive. I recently just watched a video where his mom and his stepdad took him out, put him behind the steering wheel, and he was driving around the parking lot. Guys, if you guys didn't watch that video, go on over to Darian's channel. It's called Darian Crier, AKA Hooper Breeze. Check that video out. It was really cool to see my son driving around like that in the car. And here's the big question. Brianna asks, are you single? That was one of the questions that so many people have been asking me is, am I single? You guys are gonna find out the answer to that question right now. Answer to that question is yes, guys, I am single. It didn't just happen today. It didn't happen last night. It didn't happen last week. It actually happened a couple of months ago. I won't really go into details about it, but let's just say everything happens for a reason, and we all know everything happens for a reason. My relationship for the last year and a half, a lot of my personal life, as far as my past relationship, spilled over on a major platform, which is YouTube. And even me saying that I'm single was not something I wanted to come on a platform this size and do. Because me saying that I'm single could send the wrong message to a lot of people. So, I'm going to elaborate for a second on this topic and then move on. I've been single for 2 months now. There was a post put up on someone else's IG saying that they were single, and I took that pretty serious. Normally when two people break up, it's amongst themselves, because I don't take a breakup serious until a few months have passed by. But now that it's resurfaced again, I decided to go ahead and come in and sign off on it. Yes, I am very single. I am not looking for a relationship at this time. I'm not looking for anything. When people break up, they try to come back together and try to hopefully that they can fix things. But obviously my relationship status keeps going on the internet. And I don't know why, but it keeps going on the internet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, guys. Yes, I am single. Being single does not mean I am on the market. I am going to focus on my 2 minor children who need me in their life. That's Dion, and that's my son, Darian, back in Indiana. And I wish her all of the best blessings in the world. I hope that she finds what she wants, what she's looking for, and many, many blessings to her. You know, I plan on being a very good father for my child if I'm given that opportunity. I would like to be able to just continue to be in my kids' life. As you guys know, I'm not with any of my children's moms. Haven't been with any of my children's moms for years, but it never stopped me from being a good dad to any of my children. I'm not abusive towards any of my children. You will never hear any of my children ever tell you that I've lifted a finger to harm them. None of my kids' mothers will ever tell you guys that I brought any harm to any of my children. I recently watched a video on someone else's channel saying that a restraining order was gonna be brought against me because I tried to burn one of my children. Like I said, I see stuff that's put out there and it's not put out there by me. I try not to respond to stuff like that because I know what type of dad I am. I know what type of father I am. You might find one person on this planet who got everything negative to say about me, but won't say one thing positive about me. But I have a whole bunch of people who love me and care for me and are very happy to have me in their life. So the answer to that question is yes, guys, I am very, very single. And again, I want to reiterate, me saying that I'm single doesn't put me on the market. I'm not the type of person that's going to jump in and out of cars. This time is going to be time for me to rebuild, rebond with my family. There's been a lot of damage done on and off the platform. You know, there's so much I can say, but there's so much that I'm willing not to say at this time. I didn't want to put out there that I was single because a lot of people could be hurt. A lot of people enjoyed seeing us in videos together, vibing together. And as people know, there's a lot of stuff that happens off the camera that I choose not to talk about. Now, whether they talk about it, that's their business. I could care less what they say about me. I'm going to keep it moving. And again, I wish the other party many, many blessings. So thank you for that question. Another question, can you go live on IG and add your followers so we can join? I may actually do that one day. I've never went live on IG. I actually don't go live a whole lot, man. Tiara, can you do the I'm Not Your Real Dad prank on Darian? Too late now. If he's watching this Q&A, he knows it's coming. But I could try it though. You guys gonna be seeing Darian sometime soon. I do have a trip coming up, so you guys will be seeing him. Actually, you guys will be seeing a whole lot of him soon. Teresa asks, what is your full name? Damion Antoine Cryer. That's my full name. Tiara asks, does Darian have a girlfriend? No, he doesn't. I asked Darian. Darian wants to just focus on school and focus on basketball and stuff. Darian's like Darian loves sports. You know, best way I can put it, Darian, he's like his brother Damion and his other brothers. They love sports. They love playing basketball, love going fishing. And the last question from Queen is pretty much almost the same questions as 2 other ones. Are you and the Prince family cool? Well, me, I'm gonna say this, Queen, I love all of my kids unconditionally. Prince family, all of them. I love all of my kids unconditionally. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids. I'm sure The feeling is mutual. I'm sure that there's nothing that my kids would not do for me. As far as I'm concerned, you know, everything happens for a reason. Me and my kids may not talk every day, but that doesn't change the love that we have for each other. We choose to keep that part of our life off of YouTube. You know, I see a lot of people ask about me and Damion, this and that. You know, everything isn't for the platform. We're not like a lot of other people. We don't just put everything out there. You know, we keep some things to ourselves. But for the most part, I know my son loves me, and I feel it, and I know it. And my son, all of my kids know that I love them. But listen guys, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. I know it was a very long video. I thank you guys who made it all the way through the video, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And thank you for all 60 people who commented, but I can only do 20 of the questions because this video would have went on at least for like another 45 minutes. But I love all of you guys, man. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button. And all I'm gonna say is brace yourself for what's to come in the near future. But I love you guys. Until next time, I'm Damion Cryer. I'm gonna see all of you guys in the next video. Peace.